my question here is, I still have issue in handling the conversations with my husband. He tends to be very negative when some incidents happen, and I try to deal it in a more calm way and to look for ways to solve and fix the troubles or the issues. But he repeatedly talks about, oh, this is happening again. How many times has this been happening? So the method I applied, keeping and maintaining the mindfulness to my teenager, is not working towards my husband, towards the negative feedback he is giving to me or my son. So I wanted to get some wisdom on how to deal with this negative energy coming repeatedly so that I can maintain my mindfulness.
한국말에 피장파장이라는 게 있습니다.
So there's a Korean saying that, it's kind of difficult. It's basically everybody's the same, right?
그러니까 남편의 자기나 마찬가지다.
So basically, you and your husband are pretty much the same.
남편이 사물을 부정적으로 본다.
So you're saying your husband looks at things negatively,
그것이 보기 싫죠.
and you don't like him doing that.
즉 자기는 남편을 부정적으로 보고
So,
있는 거예요.
but that means that you are looking at your husband's behavior negatively.
그래서 제가 이거나 저거나 같다고 말하는 겁니다.
So basically, I'm saying that you are the same as your husband.
남편이 사물을 긍정적으로 보기를 원하면
So if you want your husband to be more positive in his approach,
자기가 그런 남편을 긍정적으로 볼 수 있느냐?
then the question really should become, can I see my husband in a positive light?
자기가 그런 남편을 긍정적으로 볼 수 있을 때 남편 보고 좀 세상을 긍정적으로 봐라 할 말할 자격이 있습니다.
So only when you can actually change your attitude towards your husband and see your husband's behavior in a positive light, do you earn the right to ask him to be more positive.
자기는 불교대학이라도 다니는데 이게 남편을 긍정적으로 못 보는데 남편은 불교대학도 안 다니는데 어떻게 긍정적으로 세상을 보겠습니까?
So you said you actually took the first class of Introduction to Buddhism. Even with that class, you have trouble seeing your husband in a positive light. Your husband does not have the benefit of such training or education. So how do you expect him to change his negative behavior?
자기가 마음의 평화를 가지려면 그런 남편을 긍정적으로 볼 수 있어야 합니다.
So if you want peace of your own mind, you have to develop this capacity to see your husband's negative behavior in a positive light.
얼굴 표정이 별로
Your face don't look too satisfied there.
Yes, I get the message, but yeah, it's a daily, very. It's not a big issue, but like for example, if something breaks in the house, he would say, "Oh, this has been broken so many times, and when will this happen again?" And he starts worrying. But then I would feedback saying, "Oh, this is manageable. It's not like the ceiling broke down. I can manage to call the contractor and get it fixed." And actually, I am the one arranging all the fixings or the issues. But then he would constantly say, "How can this happen again?" He's worried that it'll happen again. So despite my effort to be mindful and keep calm, the negative talks he repeatedly gives, I feel that the anger is coming up again. And through the learning, I know that suppressing the anger is not actually good. This anger should not be an anger, and look into the anger itself. So I was wondering if there's any wisdom or advice that I can deal with in these negative feedback situations. But it sounds like I need more practice.
글쎄, 자기 얘기 들으면 자기는 사물을 긍정적으로 본데 남편은 부정적으로 본다. 그래서 남편이 문제다 이런 생각을 갖고 있기 때문에 이 문제는 해결되기가 어렵습니다.
So this, difficult problem for you to solve because the underlying assumption of your question, pretext, is that you see things in positive light, constructive light. Your husband sees it in a very negative light, at the same phenomena, so that it's, and you feel bad about it. You don't like the way he sees the world.
그러니까 남편과 내가 어떤 사물을 볼 때 서로 달리 보거나 서로 다르다라고 해야 되는데 자기는 나는 바르게 보고 남편은 틀리게 본다 이렇게 생각하기 때문에 자기 속에서 화가 일어나고 이 문제가 해결이 안 되는 거예요.
So you're basically you're actually imparting a value judgment here because you're saying the way you see it in a positive light is good, the way he sees it in a negative light is bad, instead of acknowledging that you just have two different perspectives.
그릇이 깨진 것을 보고 부정적으로 보는 남편. 근데 그릇을 부정적으로 보는 남편을 보고 자기가 남편을 부정적으로 보는 것은 사실은 동일합니다.
So basically, your husband seeing a broken glass, right, broken cup, and being very negative about it, but you seeing your husband being negative about that broken glass and being negative towards your husband is the same type of negativity.
우리가 여기 컵이 있습니다.
So we have this cup here.
이걸 보고 사람은 여러 가지 각도에서 생각을 합니다.
So people, see this cup, perceive it in different ways.
첫 번째 경우는 저거 누가 만들었지 이런 생각을 할 수 있어요.
A person might think, okay, who created that cup?
이렇게 생각하면 이제 이 우주는 누가 만들었지 하니까 창조설이 나오게 되는 거예요.
And then people kind of extend from that and see, hey, who created this universe? And that kind of leads to the creator concept.
근데 어떤 사람은 저거 뭘로 만들었지 이렇게 생각할 수
But some others might question, like, what is that cup made out of?
이러면 이제 화학이 됩니다.
And that leads to chemistry, right?
저걸로 갖고 어디에 쓰지 이렇게 볼 수 있습니다.
Some others might actually, the first question comes to their mind, might say, what do I use that cup for?
이것이 비교적 불교에 가깝습니다.
That is closest to Buddhism.
이렇게 여러 가지 이걸 가지고 제가 세 가지만 얘기했는데 여러 가지로 여기에 대해서 생각을 할 수가 있다는 거예요.
So even with this single piece of, thing here, people can approach it in very different ways.
이 중에 어떤 게 옳고 그런 게 아니라 사람들은 사물을 보는 관점이 서로 다르다는 거예요.
So there's no right or wrong in terms of approach. I'm just saying people have different ways of looking at things.
그러니까 우리 남편은 그릇을 깨진 것 같고 저렇게 보구나 그냥 관찰하시면 됩니다.
So all you have to do is just observe that your husband approaches things, broken things in that fashion.
그러니까 남편의 어떤 그 사고방식을 자꾸 관찰해 보면 남편은 저절로 자기가 그래 보고 싶은 게 아니라 어떤 사물을 보면 저절로 그런 각도에서 봐지는 거예요.
So if you observe your husband, over the years, you realize that perception is automatic in his makeup.
그럼 왜 그렇게 됐느냐 이거는 또 연구해 볼 수 있겠죠.
The why behind his negative attitude is something else entirely.
이것은 본인이 그렇게 보고 싶어서 보는 게 아니라 자기 어머니가 특히 어릴 때 어머니가 사물을 부정적으로 보면 아이도 똑같이 그렇게 부정적으로 보는 까르마가 형성되는 거예요.
So maybe he doesn't do this because intentionally, right? This kind of ingrained approach or perspective is something you inherit mostly from your caregiver, from your parents, as a form of inherited karma.
그러니까 그 남편은 그러고 싶어서 그런 게 아니에요.
So your husband is not being negative because he wants to be negative.
자기는 그냥 저절로 그렇게 봐지는 거예요.
It's just an automatic, perception.
그러니까 우리는 그것을 인정해야 합니다.
In that sense, the only thing you can do is acknowledge it.
If I may, then how should I react when he is getting very angry and yelling at me. I think that was my more core question. How should I react and deal with the situation when somebody is really getting upset and not managing their temper and yelling and shouting? Because I feel very disrespected.
자기가 선택을 해야 됩니다.
Then it boils down to your choice.
남편은 저럴 때 화를 내구나.
Just observe that your husband is getting angry,
저렇게 뭐 화내봐야 지만 손해지.
and that's his loss, right?
이렇게 이제 구경하거나 관찰하는 방법이 있습니다.
So you can just, watch him get angry
이번에는 세게 올라가네.
and just kind of,
이번에는
observe.
뭐 물건 던질까?
He's getting really
어느
angry.
정도로 세게 올라갈까?
Is he gonna throw things at me?
관찰자로서 연구하는 방법.
So you can just, observe as an, distance kind of a objective observer.
근데 자기도 이제 그런 화내는 꼬라지를 보면 자기도 화가 난다.
But basically, you're saying that you get angry in reaction to his
그럼
anger.
자기 화를 내도 돼요.
Then you can choose to get angry too.
네. 그런 둘 중에 결과를 보니까 어느 게 더 나은지를 자기가 알아서 자기한테 결과적으로 어느 게 더 이익인지 보고 선택을 하면 됩니다.
But ultimately, it boils down to your choice, and you kind of, weighs the pros and cons of different reactions that you can exhibit, and just choose the one that's most beneficial to yourself.
근데 자기가 화를 내면 남편이 어떤 일로 화를 내는 거나 그런 남편을 보고 내가 화를 내는 거나 똑같다는 걸 자각해야 됩니다.
But the thing you have to realize is that you can choose to be angry in return. But the fact that your husband is getting angry at some phenomena, and you getting angry at the husband who's angry, is the same anger.